Welcome to the future.
Who's this clown?
Not clown. Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poisons, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my God! Let me press play on. Was that your best Michael and Jackson impression? From,
it was, yeah. It was probably as good as it's gonna get. So
that's funny. Here, let me turn the music down here. Can we hear it? Yeah, we're good. Okay,
dude.
Oh, dude. Dude. Welcome.
Welcome.
This has been just a crazy day. Welcome to Two Fat Guys Pull List, episode 105 or issue 105, live here on YouTube. We welcome all who are here watching it live, and we welcome all who are here that are watching this as a past episode or listening to this in their car as they drive to work, trudging along through that crappy traffic. But nonetheless, we are very happy that you are here joining us and listening to us talk about comics. But as always, we talk about some business before we start the show. We always got to talk about the show's sponsor, which is Collected Comics and Games here in the DFW area. That is our LCS. And yeah, they proudly sponsor this show. Ron over there, helps us out. And we got to talk about the shop because why wouldn't we?
I don't know.
Collected has a awesome website called brainycomics.com. You can type that into your little web browser right now, like another window if you'd like, and check out brainycomics.com. And if you go over there right now, you can see some pretty cool stuff. If you go over to brainycomics.com, you can pick up exclusive and variant covers, bundles, bad idea books, which we are on to round 2 of those, by the way, new comics, mystery bags, back issues, graphic novels, games, toys, collectibles, and even trading cards.
Oh,
nice.
Get into those
a little bit. I've got like a whole stack right here that I'm getting ready to sell. Look at this. Look at that stack. It's a fat stack. Anyway, head on over to brainycomics.com, do a little bit of browsing, do a little bit of shopping, and before you leave, type into that search bar, Two Fat Guys Pull Us. And when you press enter, this will pop up, which is a Two Fat Guys Pull List upgrade or premium upgrade. And you're probably asking, what does that upgrade do? Well, you put that upgrade in your cart, and Ron will put a mystery exclusive and or variant cover comic in whatever you bought, and it'll ship it to you. Right? So for $8, you can get one. If you do the premium upgrade for $15, you get 2. Now, let's go back over to this front page, right? Littered with exclusive.
Littered.
And
except it's not
covers.
trash.
It's not trash. It's the trash you want. And you have a potential to get some of these variant covers. Now, if you click this, variant cover tab here, exclusive variant cover tab, you can really get a good look at what we got here. We got some really cool covers. I mean, we've got 39 pages of variant and exclusive covers. So, I'm not saying that you might get this Spider-Verse Peach Momoko for $15 for $8, but there's a chance. Now, Ron likes to also pair what you buy with, if you put this upgrade in your cart, he'll kind of pair it with it, right? Not always, but sometimes. So it's just a surprise, right? It's just this little cool thing. And, it is what it is. It's so cool. And Patty says right here, I can honestly say from all the sites, you guys have some of the actual best options for variants. Thank you. We will let Ron know that you said that. But anyway, head on over to brainycomics.com, go ahead and do some shopping, then put the upgrade in your cart. You want to do it. Dude, the premium, it's so much worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. $15. Like, you're looking at it right now. Some of these one variant covers are worth $15 alone. You put that $15 in there, you're going to probably get 2. Or you are going to get 2. Not probably. You will get 2. So it's totally worth the money. So go ahead and do that for us. We would greatly appreciate that. The other piece of business that we got to talk about, guys, come on. You know what I'm going to say? I talk about it in every video. I talk about it in every live. We are in the middle of a milestone giveaway, and we are trying so hard to hit 750 subscribers. And when we do, you know the deal. We're giving away this 9.4 CGC graded Silver Surfer Black issue number 1 second printing with Noel on the cover. Like, we should already be at 750 subscribers, guys. Like, come on, let's get this done. But when we hit it, we'll give it away live. And you know the deal. When we do that, we put the wheel up, we spin it, and it's a good time. And as always, we're talking about that 1,000 subscriber milestone that we're going to try to hit with the CBCS 9.8 Amazing Spider-Man number 4 Original Sin tie-in. You know the drill. Nate's like, we're not giving it away. We are. First appearance of Silk. Let's do it, guys. Let's hit 1,000 subscribers before 2023. We are so close. We can do this, guys. Share out this video. Like it. Subscribe. Hit the bell. Share, 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 share. Spread the good word of Two Fat Guys Pull Us and the gospel that we preach on YouTube, which is that comics are the best, and you should read more of them. Be kind to one another. That's it. That's all I got to talk about when it comes to business.
Oh, boy.
Let's get to the show, shall we? So we always now are doing reviews of She-Hulk currently. So we're going to do episode 6 review. And I can tell you right now, haven't watched Andor.
Oh, I haven't either.
It's fucking 2.5 hours long. They did a 3-episode premiere on Wednesday. And I was like, Disney. What? But then I'm about to go right around the corner. I'm going to go on the other side and say, Disney, She-Hulk needs to be longer.
It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen, but it needs to be. Episode 6. Let's get the controversy about this episode out of the way, which is people were all up in arms that Daredevil didn't show up, right? You know, the last episode, episode 5, we teased his new costume, and everyone was like, we're going to get Daredevil in the next episode. Maybe it'll just be Matt Murdock, but he's coming, right? And then episode 6 drops, and the whole bit is that a wedding literally ruins our Daredevil dreams. And that's the bit, right? That's the joke, that when weddings pop up in your life, they're inconvenient, and you have to stop everything to go to the fucking wedding. Whether you're part of it, whether you're having it, whether you're just, you know, a guest. It literally interrupts life, and this wedding episode for She-Hulk interrupted the storyline, and I'm here for it. I thought it was a great episode. I thought it was fun. It was self-contained. Literally, that's what they say in the monologue from Jen. I thought it was really fun, and we're building, I think, the main antagonist in the show, right? We've got people going after Jen's blood, and we don't know quite yet who it is, but I think we're going to start seeing characters that we've been introduced within these 6 episodes that are much more tied together than we think. I don't trust the guy that she kind of was flirting with in the show. I think he's part of the hate group, chat group, whatever. I think Tatiana is part of it. She's clearly either a pawn in it or a sub leader in this whole role to get to Jen and her blood. I liked it. I thought it was a good episode. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything really negative about this episode. And while it was self-contained, I actually still think they did a really good job of giving us a couple of nuggets of other stuff, especially with like the last 2 minutes of them, of the, you know, her other 2 co-workers finding the death threats, and then us seeing the needle that was like bent trying to stab her, and then this guy putting in like an ultra mega needle.
Yeah, probably made of like vibranium or something.
Right. And so, yeah, I think Patty said it best. He said it didn't even notice Daredevil wasn't there. It was just like, oh, this is a slice of life episode. Like, see you next week. No big deal. Like,
no,
I honestly didn't even remember until you told me that apparently somebody had their panties in a wad about it.
I mean, a lot of people had the panties in a wad, and it's the people that are watching the show just for the cameos. And at that point, man, don't watch the show. Like, wait for the whole show to come out and then go watch, you know, the clip that shows up on YouTube and be done with it, because your voice clearly does not need to be you know, you're just feeding bullshit, right? And you're feeding. I'm not saying, hey, if you don't like the show, you should like the show no matter what. I'm not saying that. If you don't like the show, great, don't watch it. Whatever, go away. You know, like there have been plenty of shows. You know, let's talk about this really quick. Nate will never, ever, in a million years, ever watch another Game of Thrones show ever, no matter how good it is, right? So he's never gonna watch. Did you watch it?
Oh no.
Okay,
no,
I was about to say
no interest.
You know, he's not gonna watch House of Dragons, even though what I've heard. You know, and people like even who I work with are like super stoked about it. I'm like, man, maybe I'll watch it. But Nate doesn't come on here and go out of his way to shit on House of Dragons. Like, he doesn't, right? And when they inevitably redo season 8 and the ending and they'll do it right, Nate won't shit talk it either. He won't even talk about it, right? And that's what people need to just don't. Like, I get it. It's so easy to fall into that narrative for the clicks and the views. I totally get that, right? But you're not being genuine. And if you're not being genuine, don't talk about it. Just move on. I feel like we're pretty genuine about this show. We both like it a lot. It's fun. And my only criticism, yet again, is it's too damn short.
It is very short.
And you know what it is? Short. I think it's that saying, you know, time flies when you're having fun. I literally enjoy these episodes, and they're over so quickly because I'm so just zoned in on it and ready to go. So, you know, looking forward to episode 7. I think this show's great, and I will write all the good reviews I need to make sure that this has a second season. I doubt it will, but I really want it.
Oh, see, I feel the complete opposite, especially after this episode. I feel like you're right. I feel like we're not going to get the climax of who these people are or the implications or seeing what the big deal is about what they can do until I think it's going to be a season-ending cliffhanger.
I would absolutely love that.
Yeah, I think this is definitely going to get a season.
Oh,
definitely.
Please, God. Let's go with Joe here. Joe says, She-Hulk is like the current comic run of She-Hulk. Feels like we are just hanging out with her more than following a storyline or plot. Still enough though. No, I agree. I think we're getting little bits and pieces here, and I think it works. I just, again, 45 minutes, please. 45 to 50 minutes. Can we just add another 10 to 15 minutes of content, please? Because I would love that. And I don't care if she's not in She-Hulk form. I just want more. Yeah. Patty, I didn't remember until you guys said that about Daredevil. Are they mad that Frogman wasn't teased in the first episode but hasn't shown up? I'm sure they don't even know who the fuck Frogman is, which again proves
I don't even remember him being teased. So.
Yeah, he's teased. Like he does this power pose and then he takes off or something. Fun fact: somebody thinks he may have made an appearance in episode 5 at the tailor. There's a guy with blonde hair who walks out with a suit, like a tailored suit. And people are like, that's Frogman. Like, he was already there, like, in front of Jim. And it might be true. We'll see. Love that. Yeah, the show is starting to lose me, to be honest. Oh, that's unfortunate. It is short. What the hell? It is a little short. That's
my biggest complaint, for sure.
Yeah, 100. And that has nothing to do with the writing. I think it's great. Quiku, there's rumors that She-Hulk will be in Cap 4, which would make sense with the leader being the main villain. And I can't say that. I know it's
Intelligentsia
being name dropped. If the leader gets dropped at the end of She-Hulk, that would be fucking dope. Let's do it. He's legit name dropped. It's the kid from the mom. That gives Jen the number. Yeah. He's mentioned in the first episode, and I'm almost certain he's in episode 5 getting his Frogman suit. So let's fucking go. This show's great. Season 2, please. All right, let's jump into our comics. We have Judgment Day issue number 5. Let's just get into the beans, right? Let's just get into them those beans on toast, right?
Hold on. Before you say anything, I want you to say one onomatopoeia that makes you how this issue makes you feel.
Okay.
Yeah, just give me one. What's your onomatopoeia?
Give me I'm dumb, Nate.
Oh, like a action word, or like a boom, or like a wow, or like a oof, or a something like that.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Wait.
You go first.
What?
Okay. You want to know what mine is?
Sure.
Boo! I'm so irritated. I'm so irritated at this. And I'm sure that you or Kwaku is going to totally lay it down and explain it in a way that I don't get it and didn't think of it. And I'm going to have to eat my boo like 2 minutes later. But
you're going to eat the fuck out of your boo, okay?
Wait a minute.
Get ready. Get
Let's
ready.
talk about comic books here. Okay,
shut up. Anyway, well, let's get into it, and then we'll get to the back end where all the boo's coming from.
All right.
So judgment has been passed. Time to blow up the Earth. Our heroes give it their shot, their best shot, and within giving it their all, there is a plan that is hatched that we don't know quite about yet. And I think we're doing like a mini reverse Hickman, because we're gonna learn about the plan. I think in Avengers Judgment Day, X-Men Judgment Day, and Eternals Judgment Day. Like I think we're gonna get 3 phases of the entire plan, and then we'll get to 6.
Okay.
But they cooked up some kind of plan, right, to defeat the Eternal or the Celestial in some form or fashion, and it started with sacrificing Cap. Or at least making it look like Cap was sacrificed to get everyone like, oh no, we gotta fight. Let's go, because Cap's dead, right? Because is Cap dead? I don't think so.
I mean, looks like it.
Did Cap die? I don't think so. Here's my theory. Kwiku, get ready. Just fucking lay into us and tell us what happened. Here's my theory. It's not Cap who died. It's definitely a mutant. And here's why I think it's a mutant that died. Right? So at the end of the issue, they resurrect somebody, and who is it? Captain America, right? What? We just resurrected a human? I thought we couldn't do that, right? And when he's resurrected, what comes out of the egg?
The shield.
The shield.
Yeah.
We're not resurrecting metal, right? That's not what they do. And I don't think it was as simple as, well, if a hand just came out, you wouldn't know who it is, so we put the shield in the hand, right? I don't think it's that simple. I think it's a shapeshifter, and because the helmet, or not the helmet, the shield busts out, is because it's part of their power to... that's part of their body, is that the last thing that they had was the shield that they morphed into their body. I don't think Cap really died. It's a mutant that was made to look like Cap and to get everybody rallied to fight the Celestial.
I will say that you have done one of your first examples of over crediting to a T.
I'm sure I have.
Trying to, because what it is,
but that's the first
Cap
thing that popped
really
in my
died.
mind.
What it is Cap really died, and they just resurrected Cap, and his goddamn shield was in the egg too. That's what just happened, and your mind is going, no. There's no way Kieran Gillen messed up that bad. So I've got to find a way to mix it all up to give this dude more credit.
I don't have to find a way. I found it. No, it's there in front of us.
You're right. Your brain did some amazing gymnastics to get around the point that Kieran Gillen just laid an egg in this issue.
No, I don't think so. I think you're going to eat so much boo.
I hope so. As of right now, I think it is, to me, it has always been something that I've said would bother me if it happens, and it looks like it's happening, is that if we ever added humans to the ability to get resurrected, I would be done with resurrection as a gimmick.
Right, and that's why I just don't think that's why it is what we think it is. Or I don't think it's that simple.
Okay.
Because I think I would be in the same boat as you, Nate. If Kieran Gillen is saying, "Oh, we can resurrect humans now," I'm out. I'm out. Nothing matters.
Yeah.
Nothing matters. Joe says,
okay.
Hold on. Joe, this issue is just enhanced my love for Captain America, him walking up to the god and knowing he's dead. He's a dead man. The ending was awesome, even though Shield being resurrected was stupid but cool to look at. Jim, you're proving my point. When Wolverine gets resurrected, he still has his medal. I think it's Cap, though they added the shield for looks. Sure, whatever. I think you're all wrong.
Thank you,
I think you're wrong. Quiku, the shield could be in the egg because of Proteus. He was able to do Proteus with Laura and Wolverine. I don't think it's Cap. I just don't think it's Cap.
I was like 99% sure I was right. Percent sure. Thank you. And it makes me sad. It makes me a little sad for the event. And I know that like maybe I think this probably means that Resurrection's going to be done for after this event.
Probably.
We've known it was going to happen for a while, and at this point, I have thrown off half the Xbox anyway, so I don't know that I'm super upset about it. But there's no way you can continue after this event with we resurrect humans too. Cannot do.
No way, absolutely
not possible.
And
so, Calvin, unacceptable. Oh wait, you were watching? Nope, never mind. That's a fucking fantastic movie. So
yeah, there's you're absolutely no. You would have been forgiven no matter what. Jaden, I think the moment he busted out of the egg, they should have thrown it at him, and he kept. Now that would tell me that it's Cap.
Yeah, see, that would have been dope.
Because if his hand came out,
put your Marvel resume in, man.
Right, if his hand came out and then, all right, then I'm like, okay, it's Cap. But the fact that he's busting out of the egg with the shield, I just don't think it's him. I really don't, and I don't feel like I'm stretching, because I never once got. After I got done reading it, immediately I was like, "There's no way that's like." It just was like immediate. That's not Cap. It's just not. It's just not.
It is. But I'm sorry that you know what I want to focus on one thing that was very enjoyable for me in this issue, and that is that Nightcrawler got to look like the badass that he is.
Like that he is. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that. I really enjoyed that we got to have all of the characters that are on the board between all the Avengers, all the Eternals, and literally every single mutant. The fact that Nightcrawler was able to have it made me happy.
I think Karen Gillan wrote it like this because he knew that all the people at CBR and Bleeding Cool and Twitter were all gonna in this show and going, no way, if it's humans, then I'm done, or it's not Cap. I guarantee you, right now he's just laughing. He's like, get ready for issue 6. I'm telling you, it's not Cap. I'm gonna win.
We have so many issues too until issue 6.
I know, it's crazy. Joe says it's crazy how far this event has come. We went from 5 needs to die to everyone being judged. No, it went from 0 to 60 fairly quickly. I think the other thing, right, currently, outside of, if it really is Cap, that's my biggest what, is how they dealt with Uranos. I'm not satisfied with that. We built him up to be this fucking amazing thing, and now it's like, we just burned him really bad, and now he's going to reconstruct himself. Okay, bye. That kind of bums me out. But we'll talk about it when we do like a overall Judgment Day review. Calvin says, I want Resurrection forever. Quiku, Debt Resurrection is done. This will probably be the rare exception of a human, and will make Avengers advocate more for Krakoa. I doubt they'd get rid of Resurrection yet. Joe, Nightcrawler wouldn't be there if he wouldn't be back to life. Captain America is a beast. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying it's not him.
I'll say I will. I'm totally.
What? Sorry, you went Transformers because you adjusted your mind.
Transformers. I'm saying Captain America is not a beast. But that's just my own.
Look, we could do an entire episode of you trashing on Captain America.
Yeah, we should just put Cyclops and Captain America in one book and never allow them to.
Holy shit. Anyway, Quiku
and then
says...
I could just not pick that one up and be good.
Quiku says there's a chance it's a fake out since Gillen has done a few, so I wouldn't put it past him to keep us guessing till the end. I'm telling you.
Especially with how many characters we have dead right now.
What
even Thor getting melted like that, it's like...
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Okay, yeah, like I've had to say on the show before, power levels don't actually exist in Marvel, and we get to pretend that everything is more powerful than the next in the way that we want to for our stories. But I don't know, man. I just don't know that the Celestial is going to be like, oh, Thor gets melted. Then that's just it. I don't know.
All right,
maybe he does.
Okay. Joe, I wonder. them bringing a human back will have some rebirth defects and will be more layers on Captain America's character. Calvin, after the BS that happened to the mutants, they deserve resurrection. I know they do.
No, I
100%.
get. I don't think that I want resurrection to be gone. I think even that would be a dock against them. I think that is a tool that has not been utilized enough. I still think we can do a lot with it.
I agree. I wish Hulk was in this event, but he's off in Multiverse Cosmos, not being written. So there you go. All right, next up we've got Avengers issue number 60, Judgment Day. It's just really a character deep dive into Hawkeye, and how he would spend his Judgment Day, if you will. And it looks like he passed, right? He passes. I think he passes. I think he passed. No, he passes.
I don't.
But he thinks for some reason that it's, and I don't know, Quika, let me know if I'm wrong, but at first he thinks it's Black Widow that is the Celestial. Or no, he doesn't think Black Widow is the Celestial, judging him. And it ends up actually being Luke Cage. Like, he goes to see Luke Cage, and Luke Cage judges him.
Interesting.
Joe says, be nice to see an issue where we just see villains being judged. Ooh, that'd be dope.
Actually, I would like that.
That would be awesome. Overall, it was an okay issue. You don't need it to read the event, so that's short.
Thanks, man.
Fantastic Four, Judgment Day. Reed literally locks himself in a chamber to figure out how to defeat the Celestial, while everybody else has to be defending it. Yeah, it was okay. I wasn't like, oh, this was great, but I wasn't like, this is bad. It was okay. It was fun.
I really enjoyed this issue. I thought it was really nice to get to see a Fantastic Four story where Reed has literally been removed from the picture, and Sue is the center of the story. I just think it really sucks that we all can't get that in like an actual run of Fantastic Four. We've got to like tack that onto the last two issues of a run that we already celebrated its ending, and then we're like, oh yeah, by the way, here's these two issues that happened to.
Nice clap there. I really like that clap.
Like, here's just two little throw-in issues that happen to be a tie-in. But I thought the story was really neat. I thought it was cool to kind of get to see a quick day in the life of like the Baxter building. I thought that was fun. One of the reasons why I enjoy Fantastic Four so much is because of the more intimate nature of knowing these characters. We get to see them a lot in just slice of life activities. And so I thought this was a great issue that filled in that sort of thing, and Sue getting to be the part of it and literally like being a badass. Like Johnny's like trying to break in the building, and Ben is getting crushed under a building and is barely hanging on. She's just like snapping shit left and right like it's nothing and saving people. And I don't know. I thought it was pretty. I mean, it was super easy to read, really quick.
It was fine. What up, Rich? Kiki says, really enjoyed this issue. Really enjoyed that Sue got to be the star, and I think everyone's voice were pitch perfect.
I did too, and actually, it makes me kind of wish. What was his name? Dave Papose was just kind of continuing. Not a knock against Ryan North, but just because I read this one issue, and go, holy shit, he got everyone's voice like spot on. That was great.
Abbott Joe says, what's up with all the hate with the Avengers art? But after reading this makes me want to read Thunderbolts. Have you read that yet, Thunderbolts?
No, I need to pick that up.
I didn't have a problem with the art.
We're still only one issue in, so I need to pick it up.
I didn't have a problem with it. It was all right. This is a Fantastic Four edition Die Hard.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Even the next cover looks like it, like literally looks like a Die Hard cassette cover.
Too little, too late. Cy Spurrier. Too little, too late. There is some intrigue here, but I just don't fucking care. Apparently, Mother Superior is going to be making appearances in other books, and that's where I'm going to be getting my Mother Superior. Whatever. I'll read the Wiki page with all of her stats because, again, I just don't know what the fuck is going on we're talking about things like we should know, like that they've been like existent since Hickman started the X-Men run. And I don't know, there's some intrigue for sure, right? Like Lady Superior to me is a outer dimensional version of Mephisto if she was a chick, because she quite literally made Banshee into a Ghost Rider, like her version of Ghost Rider, and she's gonna do it to other characters. Like she's gonna do it to Sebastian Shaw. She's gonna do it probably to like her plan is to get what's his name, the kid, the Xavier's son, Legion. You know, like she's clearly being built to be, I don't know if she's going to be a bad guy, but she's doing things on her own terms, right? And that's intriguing, but all the rest of it, I don't fucking care. I just don't. Legion and X is done for me, unfortunately.
You're not going to read the tie-in issue, next issue?
Is it Judgment Day?
Yeah, it's just one issue.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll read the Judgment Day tie-in, but like as for the next arc, I think I'm done.
I'm 100% done. I struggle too much with this book to like understand and feel like it has like a good place. And it wasn't until this issue that I was like, man, if I was just a little smarter or a little less tired or a little less stressed out and maybe read these 5 issues together, I could understand a little bit better. But when you're dealing with like such high concept things, that's like one layer, right? Then the second layer is we've introduced a lot of characters that are either completely new, that have been only barely mentioned, like the eyeball person, or that are still so fairly new that it's hard when the entire cast is almost all new people to either everyone or me. I feel like the only person here that I for sure know is Legion and Nightcrawler.
Right.
And then when the artist draws Legion like a 12-year-old, 10-year-old, and then his face looks exactly the same as the other guy that was somehow dealing with the god at some point, I just was like, wait, okay, I can only tell that this is Legion because he has weird colored hair, but then when we're not in his dreamscape thing, he doesn't, and so they look exactly the same. And I struggled too much with a book to, like, I didn't have fun. Like, I was like, man, I wish I was smarter or whatever's holding me back from this, but it didn't do. So.
I think it's just a chore to read, unfortunately. Like, you know that there are consequential things in this book, but it's just it feels like it just doesn't feel like you're I don't know. It just doesn't feel like you're reading a comic. You're right. It's like reading a book, and Kiku says it perfectly. I think the main issue for this is Spear is writing it like a novel / for a trade where it fits much better reading all five issues at once, but that's a big ask for readers. I totally agree. Like, we're currently consuming this comic month by month, and we've had multiple comics like this where you read it and you don't remember what happened last week, and that's a big ask to be like, well, is that person going to go find the last issue and try to reread it? Have they already put it away? How much work, and I know that's kind of silly to talk, but I think it's legit. Like, I think the comic isn't really doing its job in the medium if when you get the issue, you immediately are like, oh yeah, that's what's going on. Dive, right? I'm not asking for a recap every issue. I get very annoyed with those because usually most of the time the comic does a decent job of telling its story that when I pick up the next issue the next month, I know what's going on. Like, I know that this and that happened last month, so let's jump right into it. Like, I'm actually looking forward to it. And every time I picked up Legion, I couldn't remember what was going on, and then reading it, you get halfway through and go like, oh, I guess that's what's going on. But now we're introducing new stuff, so I can't even take the time to remember what the fuck was going on in the other issue to even give a shit. Now I'm being introduced to new things. I just, maybe we're dumb. Maybe we're dumb and we're dropping it, and the next arc after the tie-in is going to be fabulous, But I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna have to wait on it.
I'm okay picking it up in trade if that's the case.
Agreed. All right, next up we have New Mutants issue number 30, aka essentially New Mutants Annual number 1, where it wasn't really, and you tell me, Nate, but from my observation of it and kind of going through it, because I didn't read all of it. I'd say I got about 4 or 5 pages in, and I was like, I just don't want to read this. And it's because I was frustrated at the fact that when reading the letter that Vita wrote at the beginning of like, how do we celebrate 40 years? And like, maybe we have a one-shot story, or maybe we do this or that. Like I read that and I was like, ooh, that sounds great. Like, and then we're not getting that. And so I was immediately like, well, this stinks. And it was very, you could already tell, like, as they were writing it, that this was their like farewell letter to New Mutants, because they're no longer going to be on the book. Right. And then at the end of it, we get a letter that basically says, hey, I'm really grateful for my time on the book. I was surprised that I even got the call to be on the book, but I'm done. Like, and she also says, this isn't a goodbye. We'll see you soon, or see you later. I hope that is the case, because I think Vita Ayala, they did a great job on this book. I think their stories were fantastic, and it felt like they were like an understudy under Hickman. Like, her stories, their stories felt very genuine and felt much like Hickman's story. Like, but it was in their own realm, and they were doing their own thing. It was awesome.
Well, and yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, they said that ultimately they took themselves off the title. I made the choice to step off the title because the content of the story helped to tell. They're incredibly meaningful to me. And it's just like 16 issues. Like,
right.
We could have done something. I don't know. This book is done for me. Is now as well.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know how to judge this book fairly, because it is like Ayala's farewell book, and this was very much a reminiscing book. We basically did 3 stories of different. There's like a big party on Roberto's space yacht, and they're celebrating the. They never say how it's 40 years. They just say, oh, it's been a lot of years that we've been a team. Right. And they do some stories, none of which I actually knew, so I don't know if these are direct stories from their past that they're just redrawing essentially, or if just like little snippets of things that are new. But it was very easy to read. I liked that each person telling their story had different art, so we got to see 3 different artists doing their things. That was pretty cool. There's not a lot of levity to this. It doesn't really story that's being told now.
I think that's my frustration, is like, I just, what she did with the Shadow King and like all of that was just so cool. And I just feel like it's just out the window now. Anyway, Kuka says, it's really a shame that Ayala is finishing their time with this book. I hope they are still involved in the X office on something new. Looking forward to seeing what the new writer does with this title. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait and see. I may pull hey Lee, just like put cover A's aside for me, and if things start popping, maybe I'll pick it up. But
I don't know sorry.
No, good.
I was gonna say, I don't know if the person that's writing the next 3 issues is the official. I don't think they are the official next writer. I think they're just doing a 3-issue arc that gets us to the end of 2022, and then January which is the new. Probably. Yeah, it's gonna have to be a really compelling team to get me to pick up on number 1, just because I'm so expert out at this point. What did you think about the Deadpool backup?
I mean, I liked the voice. I think Alyssa Wong did a really good job of like capturing Deadpool's voice. I think the thing that disappoints me is like, hey, Deadpool's finally on Krakoa. Hey, Deadpool's off Krakoa. Yes. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. I want more. Like, I'm sorry, that was a lot of F-bombs, but like, I wanted him more on, and like, I understand it. I get it. But like, come on.
I loved it until the end. I loved it. And I was reading it and I was like, I seriously I was so stupid. I convinced myself that like, what if the B team of New Mutants actually gets to show up as regulars in his book? I was so excited. I was
or that Deadpool was going to be part of New Mutants and be the teacher for the next,
or something.
book.
Yeah, I just was like, man, like this is so cool. Like I'm totally gonna pick this up, and then it's obviously not.
No.
But I mean, it does make sense to do that because this is a New Mutants book, so it does make sense to write a silly little story that involves him and the New Mutants. But I just was like, ugh,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, I'm still gonna check out Alyssa Wong's issue #1 of Deadpool. Like, I really want to read it because I've heard so many good things about her writing, and I want to check it out. But it was frustrating. Like, if that's canon, like he's no longer on the island. It would just
if he's for sure isn't. Like, there's no way he's gonna.
I hate that. It pisses me off. Anyway, Joe says, after jumping into X-Men after the X Lives and Deaths of Wolverine, I'm only keeping Immortal X-Men, X-Men Red, X-Force, X-Force, and Wolverine. I hate that, but I really want to be part of the X-Men world. I failed.
You didn't fail.
No,
you're keeping more books than I am.
Yeah,
so.
You are. I'm sticking. I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Jim or Joe. I'm sticking with X-Men, Immortal X-Men, Red, X-Force, and Wolverine. But Wolverine is on a very, very short leash. Like, very. So, we'll see. All right, next button. Exterminators, issue #1. This is Silly Goose time. This is Silly Goose time.
This is my Marvel pick of the week.
Nice. I thought it was really fun. I'm intrigued. I love that Williams is just like, I'm gonna fuck. I'm just gonna write what I want to write, and you can't tell me otherwise. And I enjoyed it. I thought the artwork was really fun. I really, really liked seeing Boom Boom go through the window of the truck. Just like smash, and just like she's not wearing her seatbelt. Like, I thought that was great. And I'm just intrigued. Like, what the hell's going on? Like, why is Wolverine like all fucking pissed and like been captured? Like, I'm super stoked for it. I thought it was a really good book.
Yeah, no, I love the voice. I love that Leah Williams kind of just gets to, like you said, come out here and just do what she wants to do. I really think it's a good time. I think it's fun. I think it's a important to have a story that's maybe going to focus on some characters in a way that's different from our normal Krakoan agenda. We're not worried about pushing forward the story, not agenda, but like just the story of the era. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't need to know a thing about Krakoa to read this book, is what it seems like it's going to be. And that's what I was hoping for. I was just hoping for a story that happened to have some mutant characters I really enjoyed that was good, that didn't have to do with whatever drama's going on. And it seems like that's what it's going to be. I really, really liked the art in this too. I thought it was perfect for the style. I liked how fast paced it was. I wasn't expecting it to be that like balls to the wall. I felt like I read the middle third of the book really, really quickly because it felt like the art was pushing you to go quickly. Like not just that there wasn't a ton of word bubbles, so it was easy to read quick, but it literally felt like you were being pushed to read it quickly.
I agree.
It's hard to do that. It's hard to keep a pace like that. So.
Who says it seems like a post Judgment Day Wolverine is going to be getting a lot more interesting, at least based on the solicits for Exterminators. Exterminators was really fun and feels like a great pitch for an adult animated X-Men show. Please, please, on Hulu, please. All right, let's jump into Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor, issue #4, 4 or 5. I can't remember.
What day did you pick your books up on?
Wednesday.
Was this this was already in your pool?
Yep.
I think he only bought enough for people that were pulling it because there were none on the wall.
Oh shit.
And I went and asked who was there? Who was there? I mean, she was there, but she was busy.
Lee?
Whatever. No. Lee was busy. It doesn't matter. They were like, oh, I'm not sure if that book this week or not. I was like, well, maybe I'm wrong. And then I couldn't remember. Then I forgot about it. So here we are.
It's we're getting more explanation to what the hell's going on with Thor and what the hell's going on with Asgard. And essentially the war that's going on with Asgard, Thor's brother is essentially trying to summon Ares. He's just literally creating war to summon Ares and like lay down his blade to Ares, right? And then it looks like the Enchantress is obviously the one behind Thor being lost in this weird dimension where he's a young boy. And we see Thor and Jane kind of reconcile and come back together and become stronger in the book. That's really that's all I can really say. I know Groenbeck is going to really expand the story at some point even more. You know, she's done a really good job of building a mythos, and I think, I'm just gonna say it now, I think she will be the indefinite writer of Thor at some point. And I've never read the Jason Aaron Thor run completely. I think I've read like where Gwar comes, you know, like the first issues. Like I've read that, and to me, Groenbeck is the closest person to writing Thor. Much like, I know you're gonna show it off. Much like this? No, much like I got Marvel Unlimited. No, it's fine. I don't want to break.
It's much better.
Anyway, she to me does a really good job of capturing what Jason Aaron's Thor run was like. I think I could be wrong. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but she seems to hit similar notes. I don't think that's a bad thing.
For sure.
So anyway, I thought it was fun. I dig it. You know,
I just need to pick it up. I definitely want it. You know, we originally just picked it up for the Peach covers, and this is the best one so far. So I'm definitely gonna make sure I find this one somewhere else.
Rich says I'm not. This was not in my pool. I'm pretty sure I had this.
Okay,
as a pool
see,
book. I might just pick up Rich's. Maybe just pick up Rich's book. Joe, I tell you guys, I've been loving this current run, but this issue had me so disconnected from the last issue. I needed to reread it. No, there was a little bit of like, because it was heavy, right? Like they were kicking back to the librarian who like speaks in riddles, so like shit got a little weird. But overall, it was fun. Kuko, I wonder if Ares' involvement here will show up in the Punisher later on or other storylines afterwards. That'd be interesting. And Joe says Jason Aaron Thor is the GOAT. I need to read it. I just need to like buckle down and read it. All right, let's jump into DC. We only have 2 DC books this week. We've got World's Finest issue number 7, and I'm telling you right now, World's Finest and Nightwing are my picks of the week.
Oh,
done. I really enjoyed this issue. The story's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then remind me, for some reason I'm blanking. Maybe it's COVID brain. The name of the Batman artist?
The current Batman artist?
Yeah.
Jimenez?
Yeah, Jorge Jimenez. Watch out. Okay, I'm not saying more is better than you, but more might take your goddamn job, dude. Like, the artwork in this book is so good. It just has me. It just got me, dude. It's giving me a big old bear hug. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just has me. And I thought this story was super fun, and this book is still rolling. You know what I'm saying? Like it's nonstop fun, nonstop like what's going on? What? This is crazy. What? This is amazing. Like it's just a fun book, and it literally reminded me of when we first read Donny Cates's first arc of Thor. Like, what? You're gonna do what? Like that's what this book reminds me of. And I love that it's a DC book. It's just fun. I love meeting this new character. I love meeting this multiverse version where Gotham is like Earth. This version of Gotham is like this epicenter of the Earth blowing up, like Kal-El, but it's there, and this kid's got powers, same thing, but he's from a different dimension. It's so fucking good. I think it's fun.
I don't know why. It could have just been my own brain fooling myself. But I thought only the first arc was going to be in yesteryear continuity. And I thought after we did the one shot where we saved Dick, we would be in modern continuity. Maybe because Mark Waid is doing the current Batman and Robin, and I thought these were clearly going to cross at some point, whether indirectly or directly. I guess they are indirectly
Death or
Devil Nahiza or whatever, but when I saw Dick in the Robin suit, I was sort of like, oh, what? Why are we still in this era? And the reason is I still get kind of like frustrated with okay, so there's this dude, this Boy Thunder, this guy that literally Batman or Robin or Superman would never ever forget but we've never heard one iota from him at all in any previous canon anywhere ever. That's weird. That's so weird.
Yeah,
So like, if he doesn't, if like he's gonna have to die, and the memories are gonna have to be erased from their minds in order for me to buy it.
I don't know. I mean, Quika says, I hope Boy Thunder shows up in the present day like the Devil Nuiza in Batman versus Robin. I think there's a potential.
Sure, I'm not like upset about it now. I'm just saying, this is obviously a trash book, and it's gonna be the first one I take back to the shop. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, I got it. Jaden, I feel so bad for the kid, man. Dude can't even be around his parents in this universe. Yeah, dude, he sees his parents die, then he sees his parents in this verse, goes and says hi to him, and they're like, "The fuck you want, little boy?" And then they find out that that version of his parents lost him when he was 3 months old. Like, not even like, like that sucks. Like, hardcore heartbreak. Who else said? Rich said, I was looking for something to drop from my pull and was hoping this new arc would be less than the previous, but again, it did not disappoint, and I am liking it. No, it's, dude, World's Finest. You know what's gonna kill this book? It's the same thing that killed Detective Comics for me, and that's when Moore jumps off the book, or Moore is taken off the book, is like, Moore is gonna do Zatanna books now.
Yeah, but you're gonna love whatever he does next. So,
I mean, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, let's before we jump, actually, Joe, we will get to your halfway question really quick. We're gonna finish DC, and then we'll do it right before we get into. But we appreciate the question, and we will definitely get to it. Nightwing, fucking awesome. There was no way Blockbuster was gonna live. Like, the minute I found out that he found out who Dick was, I was like, "There's no way he's gonna live." And like, I kind of like, when we read the last issue, I was like, "Fucking Heartless is gonna kill him."
Mm-hmm.
And Heartless killed him. Used a fucking bazooka heart gun to get his heart out because his heart's so goddamn big. But this book was dope too, and I loved the fact that Dick was like, afterwards, after the fight with Blockbuster happened, he was like, "Yo, Babs, like, we can't date no more. Guess it's over." And she like, "I want that dick. I'm gonna tell you when it's over, and it's not over." Right? Like, it's not.
It was a pretty forward issue.
Pretty much what she said. She was like, "There ain't no way it's over. You're coming over tonight." You know, like,
literally says, she starts laughing, and he's like, "What is happening?" She goes, "Yeah, fuck that."
Yeah, literally. She's like, "Fuck you." Like, there's no way it's over. And I was like, "Yes, queen." I don't know. I just thought this issue was great. The artwork was good. Had the classic, little flip whenever we did some actions, which I thought was kind of cool. I think the only thing it was missing was any kind of chibi art that sometimes we get.
Yeah.
Like, I was
but we got the really hilarious moment where the bad guys flipping off the cameras, and it's
oh my god,
it's just the Comics Authority covering up the middle fingers.
So good. I was just chuckling when I read that. So yeah, World's Finest and Nightwing are my pick of the week. So Lee, if you're watching this now or you're watching this as a past episode, put those on the rack. These are my picks of the week. And then what was your Marvel? Exterminators.
Exterminators, yeah.
Yeah, I still have one more pick of the week, but we'll get to it. But Nightwing was great.
Yeah, it was good. I will just say though, very, very disappointing the amount of vitriol that was spawned from this issue. People literally like making like death threats and racial accusations against people just because they're upset that Babs and Dick are like just what is official, and it's not Dick and Starfire, and people are just like losing their shit. Tom Taylor's getting dragged all over the place on Twitter.
Listen,
like,
it's the same shit that we said about books, man. Yeah, it's the same shit that we talked about She-Hulk. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't like it, then don't read, right? Like, just don't read it. Go spend your money elsewhere.
Wild.
And if you're not reading it, and then you're just jumping on the bandwagon to make some other guy who's put his heart and soul into this book and shit all over him and give him a death threat, dude, I mean this with the most sincerest words. Go fuck yourself. Like, seriously, I know that I say be kind to one another, but if you're going out of your way to threaten somebody's life because the fictional character who you grew up with is not banging who you want him to be banging, you got other problems, my guy. You know, so just stop. Like, go play chess, or go get a new hobby. Learn how to draw or something. Like, it's not. The biggest thing, I'm gonna get into a little rant here, but the biggest thing that
just not gonna start doing that.
Yeah, right. The biggest thing that I wanted to do when we started this, right? Like, we started reading comics, and then I was like, I was getting consumed with so many negative channels on YouTube of like old fucks that wanted their Silver Age and Golden Age books, or even their 90s books back, and were like, X-Men were just about X-Men. It wasn't really about these underracial tones and like oppressed. Like, it was never about that. And like, well, you clearly weren't reading the same book, right? Like, YouTube was just littered with those channels. It still is. And my biggest thing that I remember telling you, Nate, was like, we could do this. We could do a comic book review show where we could actually be the voice of like, hey, let's just be positive. Let's try to be as outgoing as possible and accepting as possible. And if there's a book that's out there that we read that we don't like, then we're not gonna fucking cover it, and that's the end of it. We're not gonna bring it up. We're just not gonna talk about it because we didn't enjoy it, and it's not worth our time, and it's not worth y'all's time to listen to us bitch about a book that we don't even give a fuck about. Like, I am heated right now, and I didn't even know about that. Like, the fact that you said that, didn't even know about it, and it's so incredibly frustrating because that's not what comics are about, or that's not what this fandom's about either. Like, it parallels to shows, it parallels to video games, everything. Like, if you're not enjoying it and you're just hating it to hate, unplug. Go take a walk. Go swim. Go ride a bike.
Go ride a bike.
All I want is beefy pools, and I just want to read them and have a good time talking about them on YouTube with all of our friends here in chat. That's all I want. That's all I want.
All right.
That's all I want.
What's Joe's question?
Joe's question. So Joe says, I read about 20 to 30 comics a week. Whew. And I've had one burnout that I didn't touch. I didn't touch a comic in a month. So question is, as much as y'all read, how do y'all avoid burnouts? I'll be honest with you right now. Burnouts happen to me every week. And I would say when Wednesday hits, I'm super excited, right? Like, and I think it's that dopamine, that adrenaline that I get when I just buy something. I'm like, ha ha ha, I spent money, yay, right? And then I get home and I'm like, all right, this is the first book I'm going to read. And then I read it. And then I get to the second book. I'm like, yeah. And then when I get to the third, I'm like, I wonder if Nate's going to get on and play Destiny. Right? Or I pick up my phone and be like, I'm going to take I'll be halfway through my third book and I'll be like, TikTok, so I think it's not, for me, I think when it gets to the point where I'm like, oh shit, I got to read comics. That might be the point where I'm like, you know what? I don't know if this is worth the time anymore, because I won't be giving my actual, all of myself to the show when we're doing it on Sundays. But I will tell you, I have burnouts every week where I've got to take a break and, go get a drink of water, or go watch something, or go see what my wife is doing, or go take a shower, and be like, you know what? I'm not going to read until 2 days from now, and I remember I had a mini burnout about the show. I texted you and I was like, hey, can we just play games tonight? Like, I don't want to record the show tonight. Right. But then I rallied, and something behind me was like, my fairy comic book godmother was like, please do the show. I'm like, okay. So you'll definitely see, in Tuesdays or Wednesday's New Comic Book Day, we're both kind of like
a little tired.
A little turd, but anyway, I don't think I think if you try to avoid it, you'll burn out even more, right? I think you have to.
Oh, for sure.
You need to acknowledge sometimes, when you have pools that big, that it's okay to read 1 or 2 books and be like, all right, I'm gonna come back to this later. Obviously, we kind of have a deadline because we want to cover these books for the show, but I think it's okay to be burned out. I really do, and it's also a form of reflection, right? You can look at that stack and go, I might need to drop a couple books. It's just, I just don't have, I'm just not giving it as much time as I would like to. And I don't think that's kind of disrespectful to the creator too. Like, hey, I bought your book, but I'm not gonna read it. You know, it's like, well, that kind of sucks. So that's my question. That's my answer. I don't know what you.
Well, you answered, but because he has a second point, you answered the second. All right. Well, like, does doing the show add more pressure for not getting? So one thing that I do to help avoid burnout, I don't know that I would say that I get burnout every week, but I would say that like I purposefully build in a little bit of grace into my pools. So like there are 2 books I bought this week that we specifically didn't put on the Wednesday show because I was like, if they're good enough, or if I get to them, I'll put them on the show. And if not, I won't. Well, this week I was very behind and I needed to cut a couple books so I didn't get burnt out. And I did. And now, the show's going on like normal. It was the 2 Dark Crisis tie-ins, Young Justice and Flash. I just, I couldn't do it, couldn't get there in time. And so I left a little bit of wiggle room in my schedule to be able to do that.
Yeah,
but I mean, I would say the show definitely does add more pressure for burnout, but I think it's also forced me to actually try to implement ways to avoid it, so that I don't get to the point where I'm like, oh, this is a chore and I don't want to do this.
Right.
Because if it was just a hobby, I honestly, I think if it was only a hobby and I didn't have the show, probably would actually burned myself out quicker and just stopped. Because that's usually what I do with things. Like I hyper focus for a long time, and then all of a sudden it's just dead to me. Like
we did that with Destiny.
We did that with Destiny. I was probably putting in 30 or 40 hours a week on Destiny, and then my daughter was born. Touch it for 3 years. So I very much want to avoid that.
Yeah.
With comics.
No, and also I think the other thing that kind of is a motivator for me personally is the show, right? Like I love the fact that we've built this community where we can have a very awesome and open dialogue with y'all on chat. And I don't know, like that was always the goal when we first started this, is like I just want to talk to people about comics. And initially when we started the show, we had like, it was Jaden. And Jaden, you're our dog, dude. Like you are number one. Like you were here since day one, right? Like you showed up and were like, yo, what's this? Right? And I fucking love that. And I love that you're still here. And I love that you're one of our moderators. Like you are our moderator. That is it. But then on top of that, like we've met Quiku and Tendu and Empire and Joe and Patty and Rich and like Stefan and like a bunch of different people. And I love that. I love that we can talk about comics, and for the most part, we can be fairly positive about it. Granted, we all can be negative about something, and sometimes there's a.
I literally started the show today by booing comics. So.
Yeah, you literally booed. You quite literally booed, and you're gonna eat that boo. I'm still standing by that. Anyway, Tendu, death threats shouldn't be taken or accepted in the niche, but aligning negative or critique YouTube comic channels is wrong as well. I think that if you're not truthful about the state of the comics, all right, I understand that the industry and the creators, then you're doing a disservice to the community and the hobby you love. I agree with that. What pisses me off are the channels that, like, I don't know how to say this. Like I remember there was one channel. It's this guy that does like conspiracy theories, and like he was originally in like San Francisco, then he moved to San Diego. I don't remember, but he was just like, it was almost like it was fun for him to be like, the industry's gonna burn. You'll see. You wait and see, right? And then like we're still here, reading comics. I'm going to the LCS and everything's fine, right? And it's just like, hey, I'm gonna shit on this no matter what. When you do shit like that, that's what's frustrating. If someone's genuinely like upset about, like a character that they love, that's fine. I don't have a
There's
problem.
not a single creator on this show that we have said that are our favorites. Actually, I would go so far as to say that we probably shit on our favorites the most, because
we expect
the most from them. How many we've knocked Donny pretty hard on this show a lot. I think I've knocked even Al Ewing on like Ant-Man's and stuff. It was just like, this is not it for me at all. Tinian is by far my favorite creator in comics. It is not even close, and I feel like I've been pretty honest when He's missed the ball. Actually, you'll hear me being honest on Tuesday's show when we highlight.
Yeah.
What is that book? The lake one.
Nice House
on the Lake. Yep. Same time.
What?
Got it. Yep.
Quickie, burnout for comics is definitely real. I've been planning on cutting down my pull list just so I don't feel so overwhelmed because it turns out to be a chore. Yeah, that I can see that. Like, we've had multiple weeks now where we've had like 14 plus books, and I'm like, whoo, right? And like, my wife will be like, well, how many books did you buy? I'm like, 16. Like, that's just kind of like a like, wee, that's pretty big. But I get through it, I don't get through it. I read it, and I'll tell you now, there were a couple books on my pull that I, like New Mutants. I was like, nope, I'm not reading it. I'm sorry. And then Barbaric, I didn't get to it. I'm really frustrated with it, but I just didn't get to it. So it happens. The same conversation that are had here in comics happen in the anime manga community. The difference is one is our culture and one isn't. The community of anime and manga are fighting against inclusion and diversity and is harming the unique culture that is original fans who were introduced during Toonami or earlier. What both communities want is strong stories, ideas, and characters. I would agree.
Everyone wants, right?
Yeah, and then sometimes we just want to silly.
But I
goose
also
time.
don't know anything about anime or manga.
I mean, Toonami was the shit, dude. Like,
I'm just saying. I literally know.
Right.
About
Joe, yeah, my burnout was bad, but since I've been watching the show, it gets me excited each week to read. But I only make sure I read what y'all read if what I pick up, except for Punisher. I love that. Hey, man, that's dope. Joe says also Comics Elite is a channel that I liked, but it became all hate, and I left the channel. I mean, different channels have different priorities, and, they're going to express what they want to express. And I'm not saying like don't watch those shows. It's just kind of frustrating sometimes where like you can kind of tell the agenda is to just shit on rather than lift up, right? And again, you said it, Nate. We've been critical of certain creators on the show that are our favorites. We've been critical of some people that aren't our favorites, and we probably should lay it off. Like I mean, it almost looks like I have a vendetta for John Romita Jr. Like, but again, I love Spider-Man so much that I wish it just it came out less and was prioritized a little more. I just feel like it's sloppy to do that. I don't know. We could go on forever, but Joe, thank you for the question. You always rock it with the halftime questions, and we absolutely love them and keep them coming every show. So let's get to it. We're going to get into our independence with Wind, issue number 2 of the Throne in the Sky.
This is my proper pick of the week.
This is your proper pick of the week? Nice.
This is my button.
I had to look at it for a minute. Oops. Yeah, no, this was super fun. And, I mean, very dense, very full of, what's the word? Deposition? Exposition, sorry. But I liked it. And the thing for me, and I know you're going to get into your pick of the week, the thing that it did for me was like, we're hinting so hard at lore.
Yes.
I want a fucking handbook,
right,
of just like terms and history of the Wind universe, because we're there's like little bits and pieces that keep on getting dropped, and like, no, go to the top of the mountain and show me the hieroglyphs. Like, yes, like I want to know more. And Tinian did it once, like halfway through the first arc.
He did, yeah. In issue 4 or 5 of the first arc,
explaining
I was
winds.
literally just looking back through the two trades,
explaining the winds, and I was like, we need more of this. And I feel like we've really, put the pedal to the metal with this arc. Like, we are in war. This is wartime. This is no longer a game. Shit's real.
I've already actually thought of the perfect way to do this, to expand on this series, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it out in the public now so that when Tinian hears this, because he's going to hear it,
right,
and he does it, I'm going to need some royalties. He's already done spin-offs on Something is Killing the Children with House of Slaughter. We've got another one-shot So we know Boom and Tinian are not afraid of spinning off. We need a spin-off anthology series a la Silver Coin, where we have new writers tackling stories from the history of the Wind universe, and it's essentially being told from like the past as a character.
Okay.
Learning about history. Like it's like him in a library that's like in a cave that's forever tall, and there's just tomes everywhere, and he picks off a book. And that comic, that particular issue, is written by a different writer, and it's a history of something in Wind.
I'd like that. I'd like
that way we could expand this universe without getting in the way of this narrative.
Initially, I was kind of skeptical of where you were going with that, but when you say it's like the past and it's a character learning, like I'd be for that. I guess for me though, it's like it feels like Tinian is on the cusp of something very.
No.
Sorry. Hold on. What? When it comes to the history and the lore, I feel like he's on the cusp of like hitting like our Martin status, where like I almost only want him to write the history because it'll be so enriched. But then I think about like James Tinian's projects, and he has a Substack, and he's already having a hard time focusing. So like an anthology like by other writers would probably be really bad.
Sure. Yeah. Not him really not having anything. Right. Besides, hey, I see let me see the draft. Okay, yeah, I think actually this contradicts something I'm going to do in the future. Change that. That's all I mean.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. The point, this issue, I think the reason why this particular issue is great, because this is the great, is what you said is the main thing, is we really got just like a really fun touch of history, but we also got to see a side of the fairies that so far have seemed like the most peaceable of all the races.
Shit,
and we see that there's at least one guy that is very, very, very brutal. Literally has broken the wings off of another fairy and is like cranking down on his bones to torture him as he's like strung up to the ceiling. It's pretty gnarly. I think it's fun that while this is a fantasy story, it feels like every few issues we also get a subplot of a totally different genre. Like we're very much about to go on like a heist, like a escape from prison heist in this book, with the human uncle trying to break out so that they can find Wind and the crew. And then we've got, like the classic, super classic J.R.R. Tolkien. The band of misfits have to travel up the dangerous mountain. And I don't know. This hits so many different things for me. And plus, I don't know if you possibly could have chosen a better artist for this book. I had never heard of Donny before this, but like, he's so good.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. The fact that it's only $4.99 and 56 pages of no ads and just pure art, pure amazingness. It's
yeah.
No doubter my pick of the week.
Yeah, I totally agree. All right, Tendu, maybe it's me asking for a high call, but I think Marvel and DC need to cut a lot of books and cultivate talent. Losing Tinian, Hickman, and Mark to third-party apps shouldn't be happening. You know what?
I agree with.
I agree with Tendu. I really agree with that. Joe, yeah, DC community, community has been beaten up over the years, and I feel for them. I've been thinking about picking up Catwoman. The tie-ins for the Fear State was good, and the backup story on Batman book has been solid. Why aren't y'all reading Catwoman?
Size, pull size, really.
Pull size.
Honestly, I was this close to picking it up when just because I am a fan of Teenie Howard. I haven't read a ton of her stuff, but what she did with Excalibur and Knights of X was enough for me to consider her a writer I enjoy.
Isn't she picking up on Harley Quinn soon?
She is. She's taking over Harley Quinn for, and I don't know. I've thought about picking that up too. I think it's probably just pull list fatigue. It's so big as it already is. I need to get to the point where I'm probably going back, like trying to remember these. And I've got the DC and Marvel. I need to go back and start catching these series that are a few months behind, but we haven't read yet.
Right, I agree. All right, next up we have Public Domain issue number 4. Dude, it's just getting messy. I'm just saying right now, in a good way. I'm not saying that like the issue is messy. I'm just saying Chip Zdarsky is writing a very congested story in a good way, where it's like real life, and I think it's really gonna. I don't know. I know that the story itself has already been out for a while, but I'm just interested to see where we go. But things are starting to get really hairy, and I'm enjoying this book. I love the commentary of like the comic book community. I love the commentary of just like life in general. And I think it's just, I don't know, it's very meta for Chip, I think, and for the comic industry in general, and I'm digging it. The brothers get into a fight with the bookies, the sports bookies. We find out that the sports bookies are anti-gun, which is really funny. Like,
what?
Yeah, I can't explain it. You just got to read it.
Oh,
I guess I can. The one brother is like a tattoo artist, and he has a tattoo. He has a gun that looks like a real gun, but it's a tattoo gun. But if he doesn't pull the trigger, it looks like a real gun. And the bookies are like, "Why would you pull a gun out? Like, Joe's sister was killed by gun violence." And then like they start naming off like gun violence, gun death statistics as they run away. It's really fucking funny. But I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I'm really glad Lee like forced us to read this book. She's like, "Why aren't you reading Public Domain?" And I'm glad I'm picking it up. So I thought issue 4 was really fun, and I think things are just going to get messier and messier to the point where I think the dad's probably going to die. I think that's my. I know I could probably read it online and find out, but I'm going to keep the mystery for the LCS. But I think someone's going to die by the end of the book, in my opinion. So we'll see. Joe, I really had liked this issue. How many issues will there be? Seeing this company from excites me. Looking forward to seeing how they grow. Yeah, no.
5 issues.
So last issue is coming up. I think someone's gonna die. All right, our last book of the night, and that is Vanish from Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman from their KLS Press, Kids Love Chains, and Image Comics. Obviously, getting the printing done. Publication. This is my independent pick of the week, and it's because it just felt like classic Donny and Ryan Stegman. No holds barred, and the best. Like reading it, I was like, "Oh wait, what's going on?" And then we got into the history of the like what was actually going on. I was like, "Oh," and the history lesson that we get. I love the oh shit moment in this book, which is like, we're dealing with magic, right? We're in this universe where magic is key. Magic is the central figure in this universe, right? And we're building this society that uses, kids and builds them as like an army. And the best part of this book is when our main character, who has foreseen the future, goes up to the attacking force, and he's like, "Child, there's no way you could defeat
there's no
me,
magic in the world that can affect me.
There's nothing that can affect me." He's like, "That's cool, fuck magic." Gak, gak, gak. And literally shoots him in the face with a gun and blows his head up. And I was like I was sitting in my office and I went, "Oh shit." Like, just wasn't expecting that. And so now, in a very Donny Cates fashion, this group that he fought as a kid that was trying to like turn the apocalypse, essentially, like fled when he killed the main leader, and now they're back 20 30 years later, and they're masquerading as superheroes. So our main character now has to be the bad guy, if you will,
bad guy, right,
and has to go kill superheroes that are actually wizards pretending to be superheroes. That just sounds like a fucking Donny Cates thing. Like, it just sounds like a Donny Cates thing. And then Ryan Stegman's artwork is just it's classic Ryan Stegman. I really thought it was fun. It wasn't. I will tell you this, as an overall pick of the week, it's not my overall pick of the week. For my independence, it's my pick of the week. It was just fun. It was a silly goose time, and I guess it's just refreshing because it's a Donny Cates story, and we just really haven't had that.
It felt like him at his like a year ago, like when
Yeah.
he, which I mean, it kind of was. But, I agree with everything you said. I really enjoyed it. I had a fun time reading it the whole time. I did think it was maybe a touch too wordy for my preference, but it was the first issue, so I get that. All of that being said, with really no complaints, I don't know.
That's okay.
I don't know if it's adding something I'm interested like that. I don't know that I'm looking for this kind of book right now.
Right.
And it has no negative connotation towards the book. I just don't know that I'm looking for this story right now. I think I would be better served reading it as a trade and just being like, okay, cool, getting it all and just sort of whatever. I don't know that I'm worried about things getting ruined or not reading it as it's coming out. So this will be a game time decision.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I'm not at all judging you for that. I totally understand what you're saying. Let's see here. Getting my Donny fix, my independent of the week. So did I get this right? The main character is the bad guy. I mean, in the context of superheroes, yes. But the superheroes aren't good guys either. They're just masquerading as good guys.
Right.
So that'll be kind of cool. The Boys Style. This was a great book. Finally get to see Stegman. Art. Stegman's art not obliterated by bad coloring. Right on, Mike. Joe, it does feel like a Spawn book, though. I can see that for sure. I mean, I think that's his inspiration.
For sure.
Rich, this is the only book I didn't get to read, and it was a last-minute pickup. Patty, done the walk-in shower, 10 out of 10. That's my win for the week, my pick of the week, because I didn't make it to the shop. Boo! You'll get there, Patty. You'll get there. All right. That is going to do it for issue 105, episode 105 of Two Fat Guys Pull List. Listen, guys, we appreciate every single one of you, whether it's your comments, whether it's just your ears, whether it's y'all just hanging out, copying and pasting our pulls for the week. We love it. We love to see you guys here every week. And obviously, we love every single one of y'all that are watching the show as a past episode. We really do appreciate it. And please continue to listen and watch. Maybe one day I will figure out how to get these episodes put on Spotify and iTunes. Like, we need to do that. Need to figure that out. Yep, just so we can get more people listening to it. But again, we could not do the show without you. We could. Again, I say it every time. We could literally be two guys talking on the internet about comics, and nobody's watching, and we'd probably still do it. But we love the fact that we have a community to talk to, and it's ever growing. So, as a reminder, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, give us a like, share out the show, spread the good word of Two Fat Guys Pull List, and let everybody know what is one of the best comic book shows on YouTube. We will catch you guys this Tuesday at 4:30 Central Standard Time, where we will have our new comic book day, and it is another beefy one. And I kind of gave you guys a little preview. We are a little gassed when we recorded it, so the enthusiasm game is a little low, but trust me, we will bring the heat this upcoming Sunday when we do that. Do you guys have a PO box? I'll send copies of my book. We do. I need to get it. I share it with my wife with her business, so I need to figure that out. When I do, I will make sure to get it to y'all. I did it. I think I put it in a comment once where it actually exists. So there's that. Joe, what games are y'all playing? Currently, we are playing Destiny. We jumped back in, and it's been super fun. And I mean, we missed 3 years of content, so
so we're trying to catch up.
We're a little behind. So that's what we're playing right.
I play OOTP sometimes too, which is like a baseball.
Oh, baseball.
Yeah, out of the park baseball. It's like a baseball manager sim where you're the general manager.
Oh, it's nerd shit.
It's literally just a screen of stats.
I also play FIFA from time to time, and I'm definitely picking up.
Did you see about the new? You can play as Ted Lasso. You
can play as Ted Lasso's team, AC Richmond. I'm doing it. That's literally why I'm buying. I was not going to buy it this year, but I will be playing FIFA. Joe, what do you play? Patty, y'all like the Spotify idea? Make a dope playlist to some punk and rock.
I've got some pretty good playlists.
I like that. You know what? We should make a Two Fat Guys Pulls playlist. I think that would be dope. Comic playlist best for each book or publisher. Oh, I like it. So we'll make a Marvel playlist, a DC playlist,
Oh god.
and then an image or independent playlist. I like that idea, Patty. I'm gonna take that from you. Anyway, we'll catch you guys this Tuesday, and then obviously Sunday here again, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. I think I said all the other beats. So as always, fam, be kind to one another. Read more comics, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Later.
Bye.
Rich, you got a PS5? I'm jelly. I mean, I have a PC, so.
Oh, I can PC.
But I want a PS5, like bad. Someone tried to sell me one, and I was like, "Well, am I getting like from behind a truck or something like that?" I'm like, yeah, I'm like, don't want it. Anyway, guys.